Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get back to it, guys? We're starting it off right, and we're going to get to the action. Already taking a little bit of a swing trade. Mitch sold, and his Bitcoin ran away. Well, guess what? Money Mitch is getting after it. I'm actually taking a swing short right now on Riot. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the trading action. We'll get to some stocks. We'll take a look at some of the small cap names. We'll take a look at even the big ones. We got a lot to take a look at, and I will be talking about how today could be the red day that comes into the market. Why? A historical reference. Stick right here. It's Trade the Pool. We got a great show for you guys. Let's get it started and do it the right way. Hey, man, I got to bring my man Michael back on. I miss my man. Got to get him back on trading. Let's get after it. It's Trade the Pool. Hugo wants 200, baby. You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What's going on out there, traders? Let's go see what we're trading today, guys. Like always, it's always a battle. And yesterday, I will let you guys know I was able to battle back. I know that on the main account, you guys watched me lose like about 700 on a trade, right? And then I was able to battle back with Ion Q. Ended up making about 900 on that trade. So that was a good bounce back. So at least in the main account, back into the green, was staying into the green. Actually had a green day yesterday after such a tough start, right? And that's why it's so important to kind of stick to my risk to return. So one of the things that's the hardest thing to do as I size up is being able to take the hits and take the swings also, right? Because the truth is, when you take the hits, they're so big that you feel like, man, I got to kind of stop trading. No, the truth is, if you're going to play with the big boys, you're going to see bigger losses and bigger wins. The key is, of course, are we sticking to our mathematical advantage? What's the mathematical advantage? The mathematical advantage is sticking to the profit to loss ratio, right? We all talk about this, and it's so important. But I think that that's what a lot of traders forget about, right? As you size up, you will see bigger wins and bigger losses. Now, can you manage that? Focus on the profit to loss ratio, a 3-to-1, a 4-to-1 outlook, so that, yes, you are losing, let's say, $600 when you take that hit. But when you actually win, you're able to win 2,400, right? Can you do that, right? That's the important part there. I think that one thing that's certain is trying to find that sweet spot, right? So for me, yes, I've been able to make over $1,000. I've been able to make $2,000 on one trade with this account. But is that the necessarily consistent way to get up there? I would say no. So I need to find one of the sweet spots there. What is that sweet spot? Is it maybe 600 and then risking 300? One thing's for certain is that with the sizing that we've been getting at, it hasn't been too hard to go down, let's say $400 or $600. So that's another thing to think about, right? How can I go ahead and manage that? Another habit of mine that I was doing better on that I noticed that I need to make improvements on, and we'll work on that today, is what? Starting small, adding, and then going for the big shot. Not necessarily taking a big order first, then looking to see a bigger order go through there, right? That's not going to help us, right? So the key is start small, then size up, take big swings, risk small, take big wins. Let's see if we can do it today. All right, let's get back to the market. Let's see what we got up our sleeves today. Riot short is what I'm going after right now, guys, and it's looking pretty good. I'm looking for a little bit more now, though. It's down there towards 1405, and it's definitely starting to drop. The only question is, though, does this bounce at the gates? And that's what I'm watching for right now. I think we're in a day where the euphoria has been in so much that we could get a breakdown below this 14. So I went short on this at the 1440 spot. So really good spot there. It started to bounce, got back above the 1450s. I got short, looking for the breakdown below this 14 towards this 1370s, and could go lower, right? And the big thing for me is, does this go down right before the gates? And does it try to get away from traders like quickly, right? And I think that that's how a lot of times the most bullish trades will do. Because one thing I ask about the market all the time, it's called the pain trade. Where can the market hurt the most? So this is a common quote that I got to say. Shout out to my man, Dennis Dick. Where can the market hurt the most today, guys? Ask yourself that question. For me, I think that's on these longs, even on the Tesla long, right? So I'm looking for a turnaround in these, and they could be dropping right now in the pre-market, right? So I could even short these in the main account, maybe go after a quick trade there on Mara to the downside. We'll see what happens today. I do like these names. Don't get me wrong. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean that stocks can't pull back and we can't make money on the downside. So we'll look to see if CleanSpark comes back to 16 today. That's kind of a level that I'd be looking at. We'll see what happens there. Up almost $600 now in Riot, and just opened this up this morning, and there it is, up 600 now. Looking for another takedown back below this 1371. We'll see if it gets through that spot before the open here. Let's find out, right? All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look around at the market. We'll take a look at the sunrise report. We'll take a look to see what's moving out there, guys. Let's get to it. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. We got a lot to take a look at today. Let's go, team. All right, time to get things started. Let's kick things off. Let's look at what's out there on the sunrise report today. And there's not too much. Let's go a little bit of a first one. The thing is, there's one stock that I'm still thinking about. Have nice. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it. All right, Spotify this morning, guys. As Spotify takes a big leap this morning, guys, it's already moving this. It's making a nice little push there to 415. So we'll look to see if this continues to run. And this is on the back of earnings as they soared 14% after a solid Q3. So not a bad one there. Oh, Shopify. Well, I was saying there was something that was like weirding me out, and then I realized what it was. There we go. Now that's correct. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why I went to Spotify. Shopify, of course, shares soared 14% after a solid Q3, posting a $283 million in operating income, up from $122 million a year ago, with revenues at 2.16, surpassing the expectation of 2.12 billion. What I say about this one, guys, is this is one that I wanted in the investment account for a long time. At 45 was an area that I'm always begging to get it back. I'll never get it back there probably. Now this stock is 108. So this is definitely a little bit too much euphoric. But why is this stock making a rip like it is? This is my outlook, guys. So Shopify and Amazon should be seeing a nice little lift. Why? Because of the tariffs that are going to be coming after China. So we all know how Temu came in and started stealing the lunch of Shopify and Amazon. And Amazon mentioned it so much that they were about to open their own little competition towards Temu. I think what happens here is the tariffs come in and probably really start destroying that whole deal that Temu had, right? And then you don't see people going for those deals as much anymore because of the tariffs. But what else could happen is a liftoff to Amazon and Shopify, right? So that's one thing to think about. We all know that a lot of the products that are sold on Amazon and Shopify, though, are from China. So that's another thing to think about. But I think they should see a lift. It's something to think about, right? Maybe it's more of the actual Amazon goods that help them, and Amazon can get the lift too. But when Shopify makes the move, I also take a look to see if Amazon's making the move. And clearly, you guys are seeing the relationship right here, right? So they trade hand in hand. Guys, if I see Shopify move, I see Amazon move. A lot of people say that this correlation doesn't happen, but I've seen it happen plenty of times. There's one more that I look at sometimes, and that's just to see if it's moving with it, is Meli or Mercado Libre, which is doing a little bit of a gap fill because of this, at least trying to start coming back. Mercado Libre is a little too expensive, but you're talking more of your like kind of South America, Amazon. But Shopify doing well here. Let's move over to Home Depot, as this is looking good on the crossover with the MACD now really starting to push up. 420, and I'm not talking cannabis here, guys. We'll see what happens. Can it get back above that level? That's going to be vital. You can see it on the hourly, right on the dot. So if there's anything that I would be watching on Home Depot, it's hourly long pullbacks. We just got a recent one to 412. So I want to start seeing 412 hold. If it does do an attempt towards 412, it could be a wick, but I wouldn't want to see body closes below that. And then we could start the lift to 420. It actually looks pretty good right now. We'll see if we start to get the push right here out the gates. But I mean, man, it's interesting to see Home Depot. Nice report, but there were some warnings here, and I think that that's important to look at. They did see a nice lift because of the hurricanes, and that actually helped for do-it-yourself projects, giving a nice little lift off there. But one thing that they're mentioning is that the consumer is still struggling in the housing space. So essentially, because there's not this housing turnover, there's not this spending that usually happens. When there's this housing turnover, usually people want to, like, you know, freshen up the garden, do a couple of do-it-yourself projects, right? Well, that's where the Home Depot is putting a concern on the consumer, and it's because of the housing space. So if there's one thing to pay attention to, that's one thing Home Depot is telling you to look at. But that's enough for Home Depot. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to Live as we take a look at Live Ventures, or Live Nation, and I think this is it, right? Live Nation. I don't take a look at this stock too much. No, LYV. Sorry about that, guys. Know what's going on with my ticker game today. Live Nation up there towards 133 almost. And this is one of those stories where you just don't even hear about this, right? This stock has continued to lift, continued to beat expectations. And this was one of those stocks that everyone talked about in the pandemic as being one of those stocks that could disappear. But instead, it was a great buy in the pandemic. That was, you know, back in 2020 when it was down to like $27. I mean, just think about it today, guys. This is 132. This is 355% from that. You can see the rounding bottom on this. This can now start going into kind of like a cup and handle pattern. This is a huge cup pattern. Now let's see if it starts to pull back and do like a reload towards 125. That's one thing that I'd be a little bit concerned about. Does it try to do a little bit of a reload, come back to this 9 EMA and then take off? Well, watch out today. See if it can get back above yesterday's high. Yesterday's high, 134.89. If it can't beat that, that's where you get a little bit concerned that you can pull back right into that 9 EMA. So maybe a pullback to 125 is what's needed here. Then the push back. You can see it's holding the 9 EMA on the hourly. Let's see if it pushes through that 134.89. And funny part, in the pre-market, that was right to the kiss as the high, 134.89. So keep your eyes on that level. We'll see what happens there on Live Nation. What's going on this morning? The turd in the house, Jimmy. Oh, it's good to see you guys out there. It's good to see all you guys. Definitely say hello, man. There's nothing like having some good guys out there. And hey, maybe we have some women traders out there. I'll tell you one thing. I always love to see women out there trading because, to tell you the truth, they got some quick mind, quick analytics there. Steph, what's going on out there? What are we looking at? BTC, BTCT. I saw that one moving. Of course, a lot of the Bitcoin names moving. And Mitch sold his Bitcoin and ran away. Yeah, I mean, hey, there's one thing I can do often is call something and not trade it. For some reason, when I just act like, like let's say a commenter in sports, right, looking from afar, I do pretty well. And the part of that is important to kind of look into the market and maybe not trade it, because once I'm in the stock, of course, I have that biasy. And for right now, I'm still thinking Bitcoin has a good move. but it's going to be back and forth, right? It's not just going to be one way. I still think we can hit 90,000 before we drop maybe quickly to like 70, but it's going to be back and forth. Will we get a pullback in the Bitcoin names today? There's a reason why, and there's a little bit of a scary outlook there. But in 2016, when Trump became president the first time, right, there was 5 days of bullish run, and then the turnaround happened. 5 trading days. Today is day number 5, guys. So be careful out there. I know that I don't like to maybe trade so much on statistics like this, but it's something to keep an eye out for us. So we'll be watching today. Will we get a down day? We'll see what happens. There's one thing I see. The turd's a female? Let's go. Let's go. It's good to see you guys out there. You flush that out there. Let's get it. How we doing, everybody? It's good to see you guys. Good morning to you. Definitely. Hey, let's go make some money. Let's see what we can come up with today, guys. It's going to be another beautiful day. Hey, it's always a beautiful day when we're trading, right? We could be doing a lot of other things than trading, right? That's the one thing I try to remind myself. The opportunity to trade itself every single day is a blessing. Blessing indeed. So thank you guys for being here. Let's go make that money. All right, Riot continuing down here, guys. Now up almost 700 here. Little part of me thinking about cashing it and then looking to see what happens at the open. But it's all about this low right here that we're approaching. So there's a low at 1382s. And a low at 1370s. We've broken it once. Can we go to it a third time here and see what happens there? The rebound could happen here, and it could be right back up there to the 1440s. So a little part of me thinking, hey, we're getting close to that cashing it time, and then maybe just looking to see if we get a bounce, right? But let's see if we can go and at least approach that 1380s move, and then we'll see if we get the bounce or not. That's that bottom of the Bollinger Band. Right? There's an interesting area that actually shows up there is the 1376. So let's see if we approach that on a pullback and actually start breaking back into Monday's gap, right? If we can break back into that gap, that's really what I'm looking for to cash this. And then the rebound could happen, right? So even right out the gates, this is going to be one to maybe look for some quick cash. And then I can run with it. Another move would be like taking out that 1380s, 1370s, and then going down towards like 1350s, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to 13 immediately. I'll be watching to see if I can get it back to 1350s out the gates. That's kind of like the nice reward, easy reward there that could get us a big win, right? That's we're talking closer towards $1,400 trade there. We'll see what happens. Swing trading here, guys. Let's go to some of the smaller names. Let's see what else is out there. And Shane, what are you looking at out there? Morning, Mitch. Would you expect to see a lot of profit taking in Shopify out the gates? Yeah, we can look for what I call hourly long pullbacks, right? That's what I would look at, or 15-minute pullbacks. So the 9 EMA is the pullback there that I'd be looking at there, because you're probably not going to come back all the way to 90, right? So maybe a pullback back below 100. So 98.30 right now in the 9 EMA, but 98.27 if I want to be like right to the dot. But I could see the 100 being a spot where it could pull back quickly and then recover. So that's where I'd be looking at. But Shopify is already making a huge move here. Amazon's going to be pushing because of that. And that's actually going to help the market look bullish here. But right now, the Qs are hanging on. But one thing's for certain, we're kind of starting to go sideways here. What's going to happen? Are we going to do a fake out to 515, or will we break out to 518? That's really a big breakout. Or maybe we approach a little bit of a pullback back down through the 512s. That's really the danger zone, right? You can see this trend line. I'm going to draw this as red, and we're going to watch out for that today on the downside. Upside could be back through this high here, right? This 515 up towards the top end. So that's where I'm going to draw the green line. That's like watch for breakout city, right? So I always try to draw this so I can have two perspectives on the market. If the market comes down, what can I be looking at? If the market comes up, what can I be looking at? The truth is the market goes both ways, right? If we take a look at the RSI, just historically where we're at on the daily, right? We're still right in the middle. We could still trend higher here and then start to turn. We'll find out, right? I think this is really important to watch. last couple of times we've turned right around, let's say, the 82 spot. We still got ways to go to that. And if we look at historically, it's closer towards that kind of 90s where you have a tendency of seeing strong pullbacks. I'd put it even closer towards, let's say, 87. So that's where you have a tendency of starting to see that pullback. You can see the recent one happen right here where you went to RSI 90 and then you got the pullback right back down the next couple of days as it came back, and the RSI went to what, 60. So right now we're making an approach to the upside. The RSI is at 70. There's no reason why this trade has to stop today. I'm just looking at it historically to see what happens. We'll find out if Shopify pulls back and if the overall market pulls back. What's up out there, Roland? I got Bitcoin FOMO. Could I ride it to 100K on the charts? No worries, man. And no worries on calling me Matt. You can call me Matt, Mitch. It's all good. No worries. Let's just make that money. But Bitcoin is an interesting one, man. Can you ride it to 100K? Yeah, but the problem with riding it to 100K is that you're trading it. So, of course, we know how Bitcoin trades overnight. That's where you're going to have to be a little bit careful. Let me see. I can bring up a Bitcoin chart here. I just got to get like kind of Benzinga Pro out. Just give me a second here, guys. I'll get it up. Doesn't take me too long. I have it on a button. Isn't life good? Benzinga! Shout out to you guys. You guys don't know Benzinga. Definitely take a look into it, guys. We'll see if we can get... let's take a look here. Details. Let's go to a chart. Multiple charts. We don't need multiple. We just need one. One chart. All right, let's see if we can get Bitcoin to come up here. All right. No, that's not Bitcoin. BTC USD. There you go. Now we're talking. All right, let's go to the daily here. Come on. How do you not have the data? All right, whatever. We'll look at the recent rally here. All right, if we look at it on an hourly basis here, you can see that we're trying to get back up 63,000 here, right? So that's going to be the level right now. Are we even at this level? I don't know what's going on with this. This is just USD to Bitcoin to USD. For some reason, this looks weird to me. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about this? Is something off on this? Yeah, the data doesn't even go in on that. What's going on with these charts, man? Give me the regular chart. These TV charts. I think it was. There we go. All right, let's not use those charts again. That TV chart here. No. All right, I think that's trading view charts. That's why no one likes trading view. Oh, maybe. I'm sorry. All right, let's see what happens out there, guys. Look at it. It's up there. It got up there closer to 90,000. It could come right back to 70,000 here. That's where I think we maybe go back to 90, tap it. Did we even tap that? I think we got close. We got close. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Let's get in a little bit closer here. We got up there. Ooh, it was at 86,000, man. That's crazy. Crazy talk there, man. Look at the 15-minute chart. I'm trying to zoom in on a little bit on it. Man, this data is off. All right, well, we'll use the daily chart. Of course, you can see that it could come back to this level, right? It's done an expansion away. Could pull back here, especially towards like kind of the 70,000. So that's what I would be watching out for. And then if I wanted to partake on the rally, I need to catch the dip. So that's going to be something to look out for. All right, guys, look at that. Pullback happened in Bitcoin, and look what happened right now. Riot. Going down, baby. Going down. Let's go ahead and try to jump on this momentum, guys. So I'm going to go to the my main account here. Try to jump on the momentum. All right, so we'll go to Mara. Mara was one that we were looking at just a second ago that it could be a short right off the 24 spot. We just broke 24. We went to 23.50s in a hurry. So Mara coming down here and continuing. Can we get a little bit of a pop here and then short it here? Let's see what happens. 9:31. We're open, guys. Let's go make that money. Riot coming down there. I'm looking at the swing trade and maybe cash it. It did come down there, but I'm going to set a stop on the swing trade, guys. That's what I'm going to do here. So I'll set a stop at 1390. So 1390 is looking good here. we're coming down fast, guys. 1370s here, looking great here, up $1,000 now, guys. So nice trade there. Going to look to see if some other ones come down there. Mara came down fast, going to the main account here, trying to get a trade on in Mara to the short side. Let's see if I can get it there. All right, it's catching a little bit right now. Might make a little bounce to the 9 EMA and then a cut down. 24 is what I'm looking to maybe short off of. If it can come back to 24s, that would be an interesting look here. It might not even get there, though. That's the hard part. I might have to chase it if I want it. Let's go take a look at Clean Spark here. Clean Spark also fading off right out the gates. It could still bounce. I saw the daily. And if you look at the kind of here on the MACD, you can see the hourly. You can see how that cut down really kind of cut down there. It could still reverse, though, on the 15-minute MACD back to the upside. We'll see if it does do a cut down through the 16 today. Mara, going back to Mara here, seeing that cut down there. Seeing some alerts out there hitting, so watching around how these alerts doing here. ETHU moved above, so ETHU pulling back to the 820s, and that's coming back down. It looks like the 8s. We'll see what happens on Riot. Riot getting down to the 1370s, 1360s, almost taking that out now. Now that action coming right back in here. Because the Q's taking the down hit today, guys. We'll see what happens. SPY pulling back a little bit here. Will we start to see the real hit in the SPY and the Q's here? Something to look for. VIX and Q's are starting to bounce there. I'm looking at the VIX today. I definitely think today's going to be one of those days where we can get a nice little up move. We'll be watching the Q's here. Let's go to the sectors. Sector outlook here. Let's try to stay focused. You guys out there, let me know if you guys see one of these small names making a move. We got a lot to go to today. Let's go, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's live trading. Let's make that money today, guys. All right, Q's starting to fade off a little bit there. I'm looking around to see what's in the green, what's not here, right? That's the important thing. Let's go. Let's take a look at it here. All right, if I take a look at it here, real estate leading the action to the upside. Defensives going higher, technology going higher, industrial is getting a little bit of a bounce. So everything like bouncing and could fade off. What really came down? Utilities and communication services. So finally, the XLU getting faded on right there. You guys can see it from 79.30s back down to 79.11s. Could be a fade in some of those names today, like Duke, like Southern Company. All right, so we'll see what happens on those names. Definitely to see if they start to make a move down there. Watching around NNE, nice breakout, guys. NNE, nuclear stocks. Oh my God, that was one name that I didn't get to in my Trader TV conversation, and now that's making a big rip there. And that's how it goes sometimes. This was one stock I was watching today, so I'm looking for a pullback in this one. This is a nice play here towards the upside. Big breakout there right out the gates here. Pull back to 2250 seems to be like an area where I'd look at there. But VXX coming down fast there. Riot coming down to the 1360s there. So trying to trail it there on the kind of the swing trade here. You guys can see the action doing really well in that action. Now down to the 1350s. So we are cutting down here, guys. Look at the trade go here. Now we're really going down here. 1350s. I'm trailing the stop. I just guaranteed a $1,200 trade. Let's see if we can get a little bit more here. There's the 13. Now we're really rocking and rolling here, guys. So this is the way I secure some wins here. So you guys see me with the stop loss right above it here, looking for some a little bit further down. I'm guaranteeing here though $1,200 here. We'll see if it keeps coming down to my limit order that's on the downside, but this is how I kind of trail it and bracket the orders here to go ahead and try to guarantee some win, but still looking for more here. Let's see if it breaks the 1350s. That was kind of like a really nice outlook here towards that 1350s. And there you go. We're out, guys. So there it is. we're out of Riot. Good trade there. $1,000 of $100. It was up to like 1,400 there. Almost got towards that 1340s, 1330s. That was a really good trade to start it off there on the swing count. Good bounce back after yesterday's hit, right? So we'll see what happens on Riot now. Will it get the bounce? That's what I'll be looking for. And then we'll see if we get some takedown later in the day. NVIDIA to the upside. We're getting the upside first. So upside breakout is what we're seeing right now. That's one thing I can clearly see. So up there towards the 515s, of course, that's going to be the area where I can see some turnaround. Right now, the strength's in. So the bounce is in right now. Tesla's one that I'm actually looking to short eventually today. I wouldn't mind it going to like 350s and then coming back. So we'll see what happens. It is trying to like kind of get back up there. Of course, it has an hourly resistance around the 348.50 area. So that's kind of an area we could look to see if it turns around when it gets up there. But for right now, I'm just watching the chop in these trades. And they're going to be looking like upside right now. And I can't blame them. XLE was one that I talked about, potential upside coming in on Trader TV, and look at the upside there. 94.84 is looking good there. XOM is one that I watched and was looking at for a nice little breakout, and look at the push in XOM here. Now we're looking at 122 being a nice target today. Let's see if I can get a pullback here. One more time. Up one, down one, up two, down two, up three. Little pullback here. I like it here on XOM. Let's see if I can get it, guys. All right, there's a pullback towards the 121 spot here. Going to look for the lift off here. I just grabbed a little starter there, 100 shares there in XOM on the main account here. Going to add to it if it can start making the break towards 122 and above. It's not a bad looking name here. Tesla holding in right now, looking to see if energy can make a little bit of a lift today. Energy is right in the middle of the chart here. Now leading the upside is technology and energy. Kind of interesting to see both of these take lead today, but hey, you never know what can happen here. Now the 90 MA, can it hold here? I'm going to look for an undercut of 121 and a recovery on the VWAP here. Let's see what happens. We could still pull back to the hourly. The hourly would be like kind of 120.50 pullback. So watching that action here, especially the 120.80 spot. Here comes that 120.80s, 120.90s. Now tries to recover 124s. Now I'm trying to stay small, and then I'm going to eventually get big on this. So I'll try to add a couple more shares here if it starts to push back towards the 121.20s here. Trying to stay small right here, because if it just wipes back down towards the 120.50s, it's okay. At least in the 100 shares, it's only like $50. Here comes that 120.80 recovery. Let's see if it just comes right back up and takes the high here. Looking to see these supports hold here and then start to work its back. Take out the high, this high resistance, 121.30s. Let's see what happens. All right, taking a look. NNE just continuing to lift off there, 24s. So nuclear, definitely going nuclear. Let's go. Chevron, also an interesting name to watch today. BTCT coming right back down there. So Riot coming back up, though. That's one thing I am seeing. So those stocks starting to work their way back. They could get hit a little bit later. We'll see what happens there. SPY and Qs continuing to the upside. 514 on the Qs right now. Let's see if XOM starts to bounce here now. It's kind of holding right now. I miss my boy Wisdom. Where's my oil traders? What's going on out there, traders? What are you guys looking at? Smash the like. Let's go. All right, taking a look right now to see some of the leading technology stocks there. So I'll take a look here. See an IonQ right back up here, guys, to 25. So be careful out there. What a monster that stock is. That stock just has like some grip on the market right now, guys. You know how there was Ion Q. I talked about how there was like the AI movement. It seems like this quantum movement is being really played right now. What a move there. What a breakout. Got pulled back there to the 106 and just continues the strength in the market right now. XOM back down to 120.60 here. We'll look to see if it bounces, but ready to get out here. Tesla pulling back now. Looking around for a nice little play there. Is that Genie I see moving? Haha, Genius Sports. Oh my God. One day, guys, I might get my money back in this. I might one day. This is the bag I have, guys, on the investment account. Oh, good Lord. All right, we'll see what happens out there. Warner Brothers pulling back, looking around. Saw Genie on the scanner. I was like, no way. Chronos Group making a little bit of a lift there. GovX is one I saw this morning. I've been watching that one. And so it looks like we haven't made a move in the open market. I was watching it this morning around 270s. So it was a good level there. It just never got an ability to get filled for me at the 260s. I put out an order at 260s, just never got filled. It looks like it's pulling back now, though. So I'm starting to come back here. Looks like it's going to at least make a go attempt here. Let's see if it wants to. Looking to see if it can hold the 120.80s here. It starts getting back towards the 121. I'll take a shot here. See if this 5-minute candle can go green. That'd be towards 120.80s. Starts to go green again. Still not holding in right now. We'll see what happens. Back to the low, $50 risk here. Can go looking around. I'll see when this starts to go green, and then I'm looking for the ad. All right, starting to bounce back a little bit. XOM, we'll see if it makes the move. Q struggling a little bit now. Still can make an attempt to the breakout to the upside. I still think that, you're not seeing too much weakness just yet. Tesla, though, already weak. That could start to drop. I'm feeling like Tesla's already weak. Might lead the downside action. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be watching for a quick drop on Tesla a little bit later. I got to look for the fake out first. This seems like the fake out. Right, though, looks like a short again. It looks like it's about to get hit. It could get hit again here. We'll see what happens. Mara also back above the 2420s here. Could pull right back down here. So I'm liking the short potential on Mara. Back below 24s, I'll definitely be looking for a short on Mara. Right now, I'm leaving it alone. I'm just going to watch it here. But definitely back through the 24 spot, it could really start to break down. cues to the downside. VIX is going to be looking a little bit better here. Might go for a little bit of a VIX scalp opportunity, but this looks good. Mara is starting to come down here also. So I'm seeing some good trades out there available right now. Try not to jump on too much of the early action, trying to wait a little bit for the VIX trade. If it starts to really make the move, it's going to be a little bit later. Looking at Mara, though, that could be a little bit of an earlier trade here. So watching it right now on the 1 minute, it's made one up, one pullback, two up, two pullbacks, three up, three down. It's trying to go for the breakout towards 24.50s. But if it fails back down, I'll definitely be watching for it to break down back below this trend line where it could really crack back below 24s. So right now I'm just letting it work, letting it do its thing. Breakout is above 24.50. So like I gotta have always the bullish side and the bearish side. All right, looking around, look at Wisdom. What's up out there, guys? Did everyone survive the election push? Yeah, it was a crazy one, man. It was a crazy one. I think for some reason today's that red day, but the question is, does it come in early in the market or later? NNE though, man, strong as ever, guys. So nice little pullback already happened that I missed there at 23.26. So this one looks like a potential breakout here off the 24s. Yeah, NNE, guys, look at that. That looks lovely right now. Lovely, dare I say. Lovely. So definitely looks good here. I'm going to actually go for the swing trade on this. I've already made some money here. Let's see if we can get it. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit here, and then I'm going to look for some more pullback to add on this. So I would really like to get it around 24s. XOM starting to push there, so that looks good there, guys. And so is NNE. I'm looking for some kind of pullback here, though. 23.75 seems to make sense, and then 23s on the pullback. So that's what I'll look to get an entry there. We'll see if I get it, though, man. This is already taken off there. All right, we'll see if we get a pullback later in the day to go ahead and take that nice win there. I'm going to take a shot there on the swing to the upside on NNE. But, of course, if the Qs just crash today, we got to be careful with that a little later. But that looks good there. This Qs trying to hold in right now, still looking good. XLE starting to go to the upside. Go to the main account. Let's go. XOM now starting to look like it wants to make the move here. Let's see if it does want to make the move. Looking for the move above the 121 here. Still hasn't really made it. Q's chopping around, and so is the SPY, but holding on right now. And NNE, what a move there today, guys. Be limited, so seeing a China stock at the top there. Shopify starting to pull back a little bit there. RVNC is a penny name that's doing pretty well. ALIT is another one that's doing pretty well. So if you guys are looking for some smaller names, I am looking for some of those. I want to play some in the limited account, but TSN, really nice day on that stock. Tyson Foods, nice looking chart there. XOM starting to make the move here. Let's go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going for an ad here. Right, just added there 300 shares. So really taking a swing here on a pullback. I can add a little bit more, but really looking for it to go towards the high here. All right, just pulled back a little bit there. So now I got to really be careful on the risk, right? So definitely don't want to see it back through that 120.80 spot that I talked about earlier. So that's my risk. Want to see it back through the 121.10 spot there, and then I can go for one more ad, and then from there I got to be break even though. All right, pulling back here on the 120.90s as the Q's push to the upside, right? So that's another thing that's happening here. Kind of fighting back some of my trade there. The Q's trying to push to the upside there. Riot coming back for the 14. Mara pushing to the upside there. SPY holding well. NNE just ripping 2460s now. All right, approaching my risk here. Might get hit out in XOM here. Don't want to risk too much. This will be 117 risk. I'll do 121 to 77s. A couple dollars just to give it a little bit of a range here off the 180s because it's trying to like open up the spread a little bit there and come get me. We'll see if it comes gets me and not. There's the rise back towards the 90s. That's a nice recovery on the 9 EMA. So let's see if it goes back straight towards that 121.10. Q's going to the upside. Q's to the upside there. See the Q's right at the top. So you guys that are trading the Q's out there, let's take a look at what's leading in the Q's right now. We got Team. We got Moderna. Blue Team right at the VWAP. Zscaler at the top there. MDB pulling back to the VWAP. Datadog today. Where's my man that trades the Datadog? Where's Kevin at? Workday doing well. There's XOM now starting to make the move. Adobe with a nice move there. So you guys have it. I'm going to take a shot here, guys. Just added there on XOM and first move. It's nice little break to the upside here. Got to keep it tight here towards 121, but that's where I'm risking right now. Let's see if this can take off there and go to the 122s and above here. Now I have a big position looking for the breakout above this 130 here. 101.30s here. 121.30s. Can he get that break? Let's go. There's 121.30s coming up here. Let's see if it takes it. From that level, we'll look to see towards Monday's highs. It's 121.59s. Let's see if it goes towards like 122. Got 700 shares, so more than enough to cash in towards 122. There's a Q slowing down at the top, but definitely NNE, big move day. Mara starting to push back towards the 25 spot. So glad I took the cash on the swing. All right, XOM trying to go for the break above the 121.30s. Could go for a cup and handle pattern back towards 121. That's a little bit concern for me here, but looking for the break above the 121.30s here. All right, here it's propping for it. Let's see if it gets it. There's the look. And it's starting to pull back there towards the 122s. Come on. Make that first break. Pulling back towards 121.18s here, right back towards my entry now. Q's like trying to chop a little bit there. $121.16 by 12 right now. Now bouncing back towards the top end here. At this point, I need to go ahead and go break even if it gets back to the resistance. It's okay to get back into the trade. That's one thing that I need to do more and more of, right? And so that's the practice. That's something that's like more of a discipline and that you got to react to. But just something that I'm thinking about here as the stock is trying to make the move, but it's not. Here's the Qs come for an upside break here. So just got to be careful here as it starts to pull back and it tests me here. Could get out for a small loss here, but I'm just watching them, trying to get the breakout towards the 121.30s. Qs are breaking out here, so got to be careful for an XOM pullback. That's helping a lot of stocks push to the upside right now. I'm seeing like Riot push to the upside, 1422s. So Q's going for the 514.50 spot. SPY holding in for the 599 recovery. There goes SPY back towards 599.06. So Q's holding in and strong to open. XOM looking like a little bit of a cup and handle pattern here. I'll show you guys that in just a second on the 5-minute. I have the 15-minute chart up right now. You can see it here on the 5-minute, how you're getting this kind of cup pattern, and then it could hold the handle, but the handle could be all the way back to 120.90s. That's what's concerning me. I'd like it to hold 121 and then start making that move. So that's like a small little pullback here off the 121s, and then recovery right now on the 1-minute. And then it starts to make the move. So a little cup and handle here, takes back through that 121.30s. So I'm right here underneath it. I could add even if I wanted to, but maybe at the 121.30s, I'll go for a little bit of an add. It'd be a small one here. Starting to see Tesla starting to drop, guys. So Tesla's starting to look good there. It's hard to me to watch both trades, but I like the Tesla now starting to drop fast here. Look for one more pop, and then we'll look to see if the Qs finally start to come back down. And I think that's one thing I want to see with it. So you can see this trade right here. So this is the trade right now for Tesla. So what's going to happen? It's fighting resistance every time. It would need to get back up here for it to be bullish for me. If it fights and just gets hit again around the 343s, that's that real takedown look for me towards like 330s. We'll see what happens here on XOM. Just watching the action here, looking to see if we're going to get the pop. Here's 121.17s looking good there. I might take like a smaller trade in Tesla also at the same time, right? There's Tesla already dropping 339s, could start to drop here. The key though with Tesla is what size. It's so hard to trade sometimes Tesla. So the way that I've always talked about it, and I try to teach it also, is look at the ATR and try to use that to understand the sizing that you need. So in the last like 1 minute, it's going a 1.7 all the way up to $3 move. So you got to understand, hey, I can get a $3 move in 1 minute. Well, that's a lot that this stock can move, right? So you got to understand the risk to return. XOM, what's going to happen here? Am I going to get the break to the upside here? $121.22s here. Looking good if it just pushes through that 121.30s here. Let's go to the 5-minute here. Let's take a look at the MACD. MACD, nice cross on the 5, continuing. Let's go to the 1. The 1 came in but didn't cross back, so looks good as we cross back here at the 121 breakout. So now looking for an expansion, a divergence, going away, going up here towards the 14s. Q's coming back down there. That tells me watch for maybe Tesla on the last move to the upside here. Q's still holding on though. I don't want to be early. I want to be later to this move. Be patient today. Patient, young grasshopper. All right, we'll see what happens. XOM trying to go for the break here. All right, at this point, break even, guys. I won't lose on this position. I'm just going to let it go to see if it goes for the breakout here. $125, $120, $125. Will I get the breakout or not? Q's coming down. That could start meaning the VIX starts to jump here, and the VIX is jumping, so that's already showing me a trade there if I want to take it. Tesla could be coming down fast there, and I talked about how I wanted to maybe take that Tesla trade today, so I'm watching it. Also could look at Tesla like TSLL, I think it is. Yeah. TSLL with the mini account. So TSLL, that's probably one I'm going to take. All right, go for that up break and then fail here. I'm watching this action here. So up 1, down 1, up 2, down 1, up 3. So there you guys have what the pattern that I'm looking at here. So this is that pattern. Let's see if it turns into a fail back down below the 2110s. Can't go too heavy. Go slower earlier. All right, taking a little bit there of Tesla, a little bit there of Tesla short on the limited account, looking for a bounce back to 2150s to add. I wanted to go big there, but I was like, you know what? Keep it small first. Look for the bounce and then look for the add. All right, looking good on that. I'm going back to the main account. Gotta bounce back and forth, guys. XOM looking good, but still hasn't gone for the breakout. There's the Q's down, guys. There's the move that I was looking for. I'm going for the VIX. Woo, there she goes. All right, grabbed a little bit of the VIX there. Looking for a little bit of a pullback on the VIX to add here. Let's see if I can get that pullback. So if I don't get the pullback, it's fine too, right? I'm looking for a pullback though, back down here towards like the 4460s. Q's came down in a hurry there. We'll see if it's just a fake out to the downside, but definitely starter in there. XOM, we'll see what happens on that one. Want to try to stay smaller here. So you know what? Got 82s, 83s. Just downsized there. Just want to respect myself there. So XOM just came back and got me, guys. So that could have just been a little bit of a cutback, and then it goes for the breakout. So I just wanted to make sure I got stopped out break even, but I'm still looking at XOM as a potential upside break here. It still looks good here. It just came back and kind of got me out. So right now I'm just watching for the 121.30 push. If not, it could be coming right back down with Q's coming down there. We are getting that attempt here though in the VIX here to take off. I'm in a smaller position right now. I'm still looking for some pullback to add there, but watching for the action. Mara coming back down also, so can look at that for a potential short. Looking for a little bounce here in Mara. It's coming fast, so I'm going to do a starter here and look for a little bounce there and then look to add on it. VXX jumping here. All right, added to the VXX there, added, but it's still looking for pullbacks to add the real sizing. So on that first like nice pullback, that's where I'm going to take the big swing. Mara got like 500 shares, looking for a bounce to add, but if it just flushes, let it go, let her go. The big level to watch for, the flush down is that 24. That's where I think we can get some more kind of takedown. Looking for rejection of the 2450s. Mara looks heavy here. All right, going to take a swing here on Mara. Swinging, 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 guys. 1,000 shares short there on Mara. Got to watch it closely here, closely. Got out there, going to look to get back in here on the bounce. So it took a $30 loss there, but it was on purpose. It was like to just get out and then practice getting back in. Got to practice getting back in here. The 5 minute here. It's still making a 5 minute green approach here. So just giving it a second here. There's a 9 EMA. It's approaching, trying to get back to 2450s. There's a nice rejection there. VIX still holding the 4490s. The Q's kind of down, the SPY down. What a quick sweep there. What a quick sweep. XOM now. Oh, come on, XOM. Yeah, XOM still setting up there for the move. I'll set up there for it. If it comes back to do 121.30s, I'll buy 200. VXX still holding in there. Let's go back to Mara. Rejecting that 2440s was a good one level there to watch now. Here comes the Q's bouncing here, and then I'm going to look for Mara just to flush on here. Flush on, flush on. All right, here's a bounce. Tell you one thing, I'm happy I'm out because this would be a big pressure move to the upside. So practicing that getting out break even there or close to break even there was very important. So I looked for the momentum. I got some momentum. It came back on me, but still could flush down, right? So I got to be able to handle these little up moves and then watch for the real takedown. Here's the Q's shooting back up to 514s. We'll see if it makes its way all the way back to the top end. But it's 10 o'clock here, guys. So let's see what happens. Do we get a little bit of a turnaround here? Got to be patient. Patience is what pays, guys. The NNE got me on the swing trade, so I need to go watch that in a second here, but I'm focusing on the day trade action. Okay, there's some upside still coming in right now. Q's coming right back, so that's going to give me an opportunity to eventually add to the VIX. So I got to look where I would want to add on the VIX. Right now, only risking $32 in the VIX. Just trying to wait till I get the right move here. Timing it, guys. Mara trying to get back above the 2450s. That still looks like it's trying to get back to the bullish side, but could still reject the 2450s move. NNE trying to bounce there. I think I got the fill there on the pullback. Yeah, I got a fill there. All right, guys, we'll set a stop here on the swing and we'll see what happens. Gonna risk 340s, looking for an add at 2410s to the upside on NNE for the swing. Back to the main. The XX starting to go to the 45s now. So I'm leaving that alone. I'm gonna go look at Mara. All right, guys, in a second, I'm going to take a shot here off the 2450s. Got to go smaller add, Mitch. You guys, you know the rules. All right, taking a little bit there. Quick risk is 70, and then once it starts getting in my favor, I'll start adding. VIX overall above 45 is ready. It's time for me to go for an add there. 200. I'll do it on a stop of 45.10. I'm going to go 300 there. Boom. Okay, just moving back and forth, trying to manage two trades here and seeing if it makes sense to start doing this more often. Trying to do two trades here, short Mara, long the VIX. Going for the win here. Let's see if the Mara starts to drop here. It's approaching my risk here. Gonna watch it here back above the 2460s. See if we get it. There's that good action to the downside. It just needs to go red through the 2440s. Getting a squeeze attempt here, guys. So got to get ready to get out here. All right. I'll put it one tick above that high right there, which was 2460s. I put it at 2462. Stop add at 2430s for the downside look in Mara. Now I'm going over to the VIX, just taking a peek over at it. I got 1 cent away from my stop activating, so I'm moving it up to 45.12s here. So what the key to moving it up is that if I'm 1 cent away, I can get activated and the stock can pull back. So sometimes these stops can hurt you if you let them just sit there too long. So now they need to take it 2 cents away if they want to really take it. And another thing is looking at the level 2. So like the wall is at 45.17. So I'm actually going to add all the way up there. I'll move the stop right now up there. Let's go protect Mara as that one's in the red. Just focusing on that one, taking a look here. It could stop me out towards the 60s. It's pushing towards it right now. This is about the last attempt that I could take. If it goes through that 60s, I'll get out for a $90 loss here. Needs to reject this 50-60 move one more time, and then it starts to reject, and then it's a third or fourth reject there. So you can see this trend line here that it's trying to respect, but I'm willing to get out right above that. So I got to be careful here. Just tapped, came right back down. Good look on that now. All right, could start cracking the 40s on the downside here. So let's see if it cracks it here. Then I can go for the downside break add here. Let's see if it gets it. There's the 2040s, 2440s now. Could start to break down here on Mara. Let's see if it breaks towards that VWAP. Got to tighten down the risk now. The stop loss. Could bring it down as the action goes to break, and if it hits my ad, that's when I got to go break even, or maybe like 1 or 2 cent red with the stop. Let's see if the Qs start to come down here. The Qs are rejecting the 514 move. SPY coming down, so looking for a little bit of a fade now on the market. Here comes the 30s for Mara. 35s, 34s. Can it hit the 30? It's a little bit of a wall now at 37. So there's a like kind of a short wall on this. There we go. Just got the ad there now. Got to look to see if we get the takedown. If not, I'm willing to get out of it. I'm going to risk towards the 2440s really here. There's 2430s now going. 2420s starting to cut down. So looking good there. I'm big. I'm 1,000 shares short on Mara again here. Looking for a cut down towards the 24s. Now it's starting to go into the 26. If it cuts to 2420s, I'll put break even so I can't lose on the position at that point. Here's 2420s starting to bounce a little bit. Could come right back to me here. There's the cut down towards 2418s. Could get a little bounce here. So I'm going to just go ahead and just leave it $5 in the risk right now. But looking for that real takedown move here through the 2420s here. Let's see if we can get it now into the green, 160. The VIX looking like it wants to jump also here. We'll see if it makes a jump. Wall up to that 45.18. We'll see if it takes it. There's a pullback there on the VIX there. So just being careful out there. Q's still pulling back there. Mara at 2419s could bounce there. I'm up about 150 on that. All right, looking good here to go for the win here. I'm going to add in a second here on the VXX, and then I'll be break even on the rest of it. You can see I'm up 60, 70 on that. There's 330 for Mara. Now we're talking business here. All right, now there's a cut down. That's what I'm talking about. Now we're looking for a big win here. I'm going to go ahead and try to just take it here. 500 here on the win here. There's a first cut down. Would like it to hold below the VWAP now, 2430s. It could come back to the 2430s quickly here. So I'm just looking to ride the momentum down here. It's at 2405. Can we break through that? Going towards the 2380s there. Right now, I'm trying to secure 205, which is at 2416. So just watching the action right now. Can I get that? Come on, come on. There's a little bounce. I got to get through here. There's a bounce to 2410s. Can we just cut the 24 one more time here? And I think we could get a nice little takedown there. All right, looking good there. Now we're getting a little bounce there. Got to be careful because the bounce could come to the VWAP first and then come for another takedown. There's a 24. Try to cut down again here. Let's see if it goes for it. I put the takedown below it now. 24 is going for another break here. Let's go, Mara. Break it. Break it. Break it, Mara. Break it real good. All right, getting a bounce there off that 24. Ready to take the profits here, guys. The Qs are coming down also. So that should help if we could get away from this little cut down here. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set up a win here. So 24.17. If it comes back to that spot, it cuts me out. If not, I'm going for a bigger win here in Mara. I'll show you it right on the chart here. You guys are watching the action straight from the platform. Look at the stop place right there. Who else shows you this right here? Nobody. We'll see what happens out there, guys. Did it ever my XOM hit? No, XOM never got in. How did that one turn out? Let's take a look at it. All right, bounce here, about to get me out. Boom, taking the cash there in Mara, guys. I did want to take more, but can't be too picky, right? It could still come down here and then go right back down through that 24. So I'm going to be watching it here, but the bounce could be 24.30. So there's the VIX coming back to me. I got to be careful here. Now I'm long this and pretty long, so don't want to go ahead and get caught too much here. Willing to risk $80. I'm not going to risk too much. $80. If not, I can get back in, reestablish, look for the bigger trade here because the pullback is happening in the Qs. We'll see if it doesn't get me on the pullback right now. I'm at 44.90s there on the stop out. We'll go to 89 if I need to, which is a $90 out. But got no problem watching that. And you guys are watching the action right there as I move it right on my screen in the middle here. That's why you guys got to have multiple screens. I think it's very important to try to help yourself there. We'll see if it does do it. It caught me right at the top there. That's one thing to be careful about. And that's why I'm not trying to risk too much here. I could get break even, but I would have already gotten stopped out there, right? So let's see what happens right here, risking about a penny or two off the VIX. We'll see if the Qs come right back down. Look at Mara right back at the VWAP. So that's how it goes sometimes. And that's why I just wanted to take some money there. I had a bigger trade there on in Mara, but man, it needs to reject this 24.30s. All right, looking to see if it can go red again here, and then right back down she goes. All right, rejecting the 24.30s move. Could start to break 24.20s and really let go here. Here it goes. It's going for the move. Just trying to hold right now, trying to come back a little bit. That's one thing I can see right there. I saw the little bit of a turn there. We could get an up attempt to the trend line on the 5 minutes. So I'm going to watch to see if we get this up attempt towards 24.50s and then the rejection right back down there. Just trying to ride the quick momentums, guys. Qs could make an up approach here, guys. So I'm about to get out of the VIX trade here. Could be a $60 loss there, $63. I'm trying to keep it tight here. If the Qs just crash, that's okay too. I'll look to get back in the VIX with a bigger size, but just looking to see what happens here because the Qs are looking like they're trying to bounce here. There's a little bounce. The SPY is weaker than all, right? So that's one thing I'm watching too. The SPY is pretty weak there at the 598s. Success is another way you guys can look to see if this gets a bounce here and really starts to push today. So this could be one way to maybe hedge if you're long on a lot of names, is looking to see if Success gets the lift today. There's a little lift there. There's a little down action coming in here. Do I take a Success trade, man? I haven't taken one of these in a little while. Mara could be right back down here. It's starting to bounce here, but Qs are kind of right in the middle, right off the VWAP. So I think we're right in the middle. We got to watch to see what happens here. Will we get a move back to the top end? We could. So just be careful for a little bit of some choppy action first, then the takedown later in the day. Alt going higher. So if you're looking at some of the smaller names, and I've been looking for one, so I'm looking for a scalp on the action. Here's Tesla. That Tesla actually went down there, guys. I just never took profits. This is one that I'm going to be a little bit upset about, guys, that I did not take profits on that down action there. I will say that was on me there. So we'll see what happens here on this. If it stops me out at the 21.22s, I put a break even one on this one. I went short there. I went down to the 20.70s there. So had a great trade on there. it just didn't. I just didn't take the profits. It was like 100 and something bucks there at the bottom. So we'll see what happens there. It was actually 170, so it was a pretty good cash there for 300 shares there. So we'll see what happens here, guys. Probably going to get me out right now. It's trying to get me out. Trying to come back to the VWAP here is TSLL, and then it could come right back down here. $23s is what it's really fighting right now. We'll see if it comes back down. I actually put the stop towards 21.27 now, giving me at least a couple pennies here, but it could come right back to it right there to 27. So risking about 18 bucks right now. Sometimes you got to get in and get back in Tesla. I'll be watching this. This is the hard part of, 3 trades on, right? Essentially. There you guys right there. Stopped out 19 bucks there. Should have got the cash there. I was up 170. That's on me, guys. I didn't put the target profit. I was looking for a continued breakdown below the low there, the 2050s. We'll see what happens on that. Let's go check in on the NNE trade. NNE would add back through the 24s, guys. So we'll see if we get back up this. Will we get a bullish day on this day? I think that's at least a trade setup that I have for here for the swing on NNE. We'll see. Do we get the break, right? I think that, now I can keep it tight, maybe go for the big win there. TSLL already back down off of the VWAP. So just to kind of show you guys how quickly that happens, right? So Mara right back down too. So we'll see what happens on that one. NNE. Tighten down the risk there to 200 since I'm up 1100. All right, going back here. Main account, Mara. All right, here, guys, we'll see what happens. Does it start to reverse? This is also a reversal area here towards the upside. So upside still potential here, but could reject this move and then go right back to the red candle. The key is the Qs. Will the Qs go red? But I'm willing to bet that maybe today's that day, based on history, that statistics say that we could be on the downside based on the Trump administration. All right, going for it here, guys. There you guys have it. I just went short there, 1,000 shares there. Got to be careful here. Risk like about 100 bucks of the profits here, but going for it here. Going for it. Here's that first action looking good there. Really looking to see this start to drop and really ready to get out on the quick actions back up above the 30s. I'd like to see a quick move through the 24s. SPY heading down fast there, guys. Looking for also the VIX trade there too. All right, taking the VIX trade. I'm just going to risk 100 bucks there. All right, risking 90 bucks on that trade. Watching Mara pop back on me. Oof, that was a little dangerous because it really what happened there is I should be already out of Mara, but man, it's popping right back to the resistance breakout here. Got to be careful. I'm going to set the risk at 24.50s. What happened there is trying to do both trades there and set the risk there was hard on VXX. So I was waiting for a second there to set the risk there at the 44.90s, 44 right by that. and then I went back to it here and it was already higher there. So let's see if it can go right back up above it. I have the risk at like 88 on the VXX, looking to see if we get the move back down. The SPY is weaker than the Qs. That's one thing I'll note. If I look at the sectors overall, everything's red except technology. So I'm going to look to see if technology goes red. What's really red? Utilities and healthcare. That's what's getting really hit hard, guys. So shorts on Eli Lilly even look like it makes sense there. They're getting whacked there, guys. So even stocks that were strong like Gilead taking a hit to the downside. So I think this is a really good opportunity here. We just got to keep a watch to see what happens. But we're seeing some downside in the market here. I'm setting up for the moves. Let's go. How's Bitcoin? I'd love to know that outlook, but I haven't really taken a look at it. Nice rejections there. Don't want it back through that 2440s here. Let's see if it goes for the 24 breakdown on Mara. Q's just fighting in the middle here, but the SPY is really weak. All right, back towards my entry here on Mara. Going to see what happens here, but definitely it's an interesting one here, guys. Let's see what it plays out. I'd like that. I've been willing to get in and out of Mara today. So now that I see this break, looking to do the same, right? Once it gets to 2420s and 2410s, we'll look for the breakdown and we'll start to be break even again. And this gives me the ability to get in and out of these trades. And that's so important for me. Q's trying to make the attempt back here, so we got to be careful here for the move back here, but the setup's there on both sides here. Bulls and bears. Let's see who wins. All right, here's a little pullback towards 2423s. Can we go down there towards that 2420s, cut down there, back towards the 24s? It's going to be the big watch because that's the level that can get us more potential gains here. Bouncing back already here. So just got to be careful here, guys, because the move could be wicked back on the back action. Tesla bouncing back a little bit. I do see that. Just got a bounce back there towards 2430s here. About to get out of Mara, guys. Going to set an $80 risk here, guys. It's about to hit me at the 35s. If it hits me at the 35s, I'm fine with getting out and looking to get back in, right? I can't lose that much. $85 out there on Mara. Still could be a takedown back below the 2430s, but that's too much to the upside where the upside potential can go for a breakout. Next thing you know, we get runned over. That's what I won't accept today. So looking to keep battling. Down only 156 for opening up big positions today. I'm cool with it. Just got to keep battling on the day. The trend hasn't been selected there on the Qs. That's the one thing that I do see. Here's the down move now coming in on the Qs, and yet the Qs are going, and yet Mara's going up. So just watching that action here to see if it rejects 2450 breakout on the upside. There's 2441s, and you can see how it's trying to go for that breakout. This is when stops get activated. So big order there, 13,000 shares at 2442s. Tells me just keep an eye on it. Right there, it triggered some stops. Could still go right back down, and so I'm still going to be willing to get back after this. Just need to see it go back to the bottom end of this little kind of trend line, not at the top end. I'm shorting up here, and then it just squeezes to 2460s. Well, guess what? I just gave them 200 for no reason. VXX back down to the 4488s. It still looks good there to start to go back up to the upside. It's all about the Qs here. I think the Qs are trying to get things to go back to the upside. Of course, the tech names, right? We'll see what happens here at 15 minutes. Will this go red? Will this candle go red by 10:45 is a big watch for me. It's already doing it. All right, so VXX, I'm going to set up to get back in above the 45s. VXX set up to get in if I need to. So it's on a stop entrance. And I'm going to do the same for Mara. All right, we'll see if it comes back here. Looking for the takedown now. Let's see what happens, though. Mara's going on the upside there, so I won't get in if it goes to the upside. I only have a stop for an entry on downside approach. If it goes to the upside, I reassess and look for upside approaches. So there's the cues also trying to bounce here. Let's see it. 15 minutes going to be important. It can go right back to the 515. Tesla pushing to the upside, so that tells me, yeah, you're getting some strength here in some of the tech names. The SPY bouncing off that bottom there, off the 598, so you're getting a little bit of a rally here. Can they get it back through that level up here, the 514.50s on the cues? What are you guys seeing out there, traders? What's going on? Ouch, daily loss, BTCT. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Tough trade out there. Globe pushing. Mitch, stay safe. Only because it's not long doesn't mean it's a short. Oh, we'll see what happens, man. I think you're getting both actions right now, and the fun part is setting up. Right, that's what I've been trying to do more and more. Is get in, get out. Trust me, I've set up a lot on these trades here, and nothing's happened. XOM's in this symmetrical triangle. That's crazy, guys. It's as symmetrical as it gets, man. Oh man, that one's in a super symmetrical triangle there. I still haven't taken off my stop to get in at 121.30s on the upside, but that's just been chopping around. We'll see if it ever makes a break to the upside. There's the Mara went up and then right back down, man. Right back down. So this is where it's like, do we go for it here? It's hard because the chop is out there, that's for sure. Just canceled my stop ad there for Mara as I'm watching it here, just because I'm looking to see if this 15-minute candle can go red. Opened at 36. Just trying to hold the 90 EMA here. It comes to those 30s to approach it. 38. Q's coming down. A hard trade today, guys. Hard trade on this trade. Going for it, guys. Going for it. Starter on. There goes the first action down. Can we get towards the 2420s? There goes the first action here. Q's coming down also with that action. Gotta know my risk, right? Know my risk. Will the Qs make the upside for the 514s, or will Mara come crashing down here through the 2420s? 2420s approaching here, looking like it wants to break, but it's right on the VWAP. That's where we got to be careful for some big buyer to step up here. We know how Bitcoin is. All right, could get me out here. I'm just setting a quick $10 stop here because if it pops above me, I can always just re-enter. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to pay some like exposure and then get out. Like I gave myself a little ticking time bomb there. I was like, if it's gonna go, it's gonna go. It's gonna go fast. So right there, it started to bounce there. It got me out at the 36, 35s, right at the spot right now. Giving it the chance to see if it just pops to 2450s. If not, it could go right back to the weakness. See, I'm getting out in these situations. It's just giving me the ability to get in and out. Of course, I'm costing myself some fees, but I'd rather that happen than catch myself on the big loss. I'm just looking for the win here. There's a nice rejection back down towards the 2430s here. Q's still holding, and that's what's keeping me out. There's a move for it. I'm going for it. This is what it's all about. I'm just trying to be quick here. Slow. There's a nice action towards the 2430s, 2420s. It just needs to break down towards the 24s. Really what we need to see there. See if it breaks the 2420s here. There's the pressure towards the 2420s. It's a big spot here, guys. There's 2418s now. Now we're approaching that breakdown. There's the 2417s. Let's see if it goes for it. Now I'm up a decent amount, but I'm not going to lose on this one now. I'm just ready to hold break even or let the breakdown happen through the 24s. Come on. It's trying to do it. Coming back. Got to be careful for the comeback here. Rejection from the VWAP right there. Nice look there. Now the Q's getting weaker. Let's go. Let's go. Now I got to hold that break even here. And if anything, just get back in. Just willing to get in and out. That's the important thing for me. All right, we'll see what happens here. 24.26. 24.19s. Q's coming down. Q's coming down. I like that look here. SPY broke down too, so there's a little bit of a pop there. It's definitely I'm gonna have to put some risk on because I'm getting a little bit of a pop there. Even though the Q's and the SPY are coming down, this doesn't have to come down, so I got to know where my risk is going to be. I'm going to risk 150 on this. Already established. Boom. 2440s there. Looking for the breakdown. Now I'm going to go looking at the VIX because the VIX is going to probably trigger for me in a second here. Boom. Just recollected me up there at the 485, man. The stop trigger action there. Don't like that entry at all, but man, that was a little bit of a stop hunt there on the 45. Got in there and immediately just got hunted there. Let's see if we can get back above the 45s. Looking for the Qs and the SPY now to just keep dropping here. We'll see what happens, but got an entry there in the VXX. I have to risk a little bit more now because of the way that I entered there. Qs and SPY bouncing a little bit here, so got to be careful. Mara came back on me, guys. They're just pinning us. They're pinning us. They're going to make the move eventually, but that's the key there, is that it's going to be eventually, and it's just a slow pivot move here. Slow pivot move, and then we're getting the action a little bit later. So got to be careful with that, guys. Not try to give too much up in between this. I just gave up a lot trying to trade in between here before 11. But that's what I'm seeing a lot of, is a lot of bit of that shake in between. We're still not getting the action on both sides. The Qs are kind of chomping around today, a little bit of some chop, chop, chop. If you take a look at where the opening price is and you take a look at where we're at right now, opening price was what? Opening price was 513.68. We're at 513.86, 20 cents off of that. Shows you the chop that's in right now. At some point, this is going to play out, but a lot of it could be towards the later part of the day. It tries to stop you out, tries to stop you out, tries to stop you out, and then it makes the move. The same way it did to me yesterday. I was able to still make the money, but you got to be careful with paying too much cash too early. So that's one thing that I will say today. I've definitely been in the battle with that. We'll see what happens there in Mara. It could still come back to the upside. The Qs still look pretty bearish here. So we'll see what happens in my VXX trade, guys. 44.90s in there at the 45s. Looking at the action right now. But the SPY and the Qs need to finally break down there. If not, we're not going to get the action there. All right, Tesla still looks pretty strong. I mean, it's trying to hold in, but it's rejected a couple of times. Let's go to the limited account, see what's going on there. Okay, so of course I was in TSLL earlier. Going to see what happens with that one now. It rejected to get to the 2190s there. So I want to continue to watch that because I still think it's one of the best trades that are available to me today. But I could take a look at some of these smaller trades. Molin making a move today, guys. 240s. The Molinator out there. Yeah, crazy action there. BTCT. So, this thing's squeezing, guys. Squeezing all over here, guys. Be careful out there, guys. What a squeezer here, guys. 1, 2, 3 off of the fourth hole to the upside. Now going to 1206. What a mover there in BTCT. Man, I didn't even notice that one too much, guys. Yell at me, guys. Yell at me. Did I short NNE? No, I didn't short NNE. Let's see what happened with that one. I think I got cut out of that one, guys. Yeah, cut out of NNE. Cut out of NNE. Still up 965 on the day from that short on Riot. But, man, cut out of that NNE position. I'll be watching if the market can come back. NNE, not still looking bad off that 23. If I look at it on an hourly basis, it still looks interesting there. We'll see if the market can go red today. Market's coming back. So you know what? Let's swing that NNE again. I know I lost on it, but I lost 200 on it. I'm willing to go ahead and get back in it. Risk like another 100 maybe. Let's see where we're at right now. I got to see where the MACD is kind of turning over here. Yeah, it's turning over right there. All right. So the risk would be it coming back here below the slow. So 2260s. Got to understand there how to come in with the right sizing, right? That's what's important here. Still a little bit of a back and forth action there. So what I'll do is I'll give it a little bit of some time back towards the upside. So if it wants to come back, it needs to come back through like a 15-minute trend line approach. So that's going to be a trend line back here, back through 2350. So that's where I'll fill if it's coming back. We'll see what happens there if it comes back through 2350 later today. All right, going back to the VIX here. Q's still hanging on, man. SPY and Q's still hanging on here. Just seems like we're getting a little bit of some chop out there. See if we finally get the Qs to break there. I mean, it's just a chop back and forth on the 15-minute. We're not going anywhere essentially. If anything, we're still just holding the hourlies. So Shopify on an hourly pullback, that stock is still staying strong. Oof, that stock was a monster today. AMTX trying to go for that 440 break. VIX coming down fast there. So I see the Qs also come in and just kind of battling that 513.90s. We'll see if it gets back to 514s here. It's just chomp back and forth here. Definitely a little bit too big on the VIX again, guys. So that's one thing that I say when I got stop hunted there at the 45, because that's what happened there. Definitely need to be smaller. That's just what it is, right? So we'll see what happens here back towards the 44.76, and I just got to get out. But definitely looking at the action, it's looking like I could get a little pop in the Qs, get out here, and then I'll look to see if I can get back in later in the day. I think that it's important to be willing to get back in, especially if the risks and the setup show it, right? So here's the Qs in the SPY. Going to try one more time on the downside. This is the last time I'll attempt for the downside approach here. We'll see if we get it. All right, AMTX trying to push towards the upside. Where are some smaller names? There has to be another one out there. PLL doing well today. Some lithium names doing well. Lithium's a names that I would definitely keep an eye out. PLL looking good there, guys. LAC was one I was watching this morning, getting a little bit of a lift. This one looks good for a swing trade, guys. This one looks for a day trade right now. LAC. I'm looking at it for the limited account right now. I like this look. Looks pretty good off this 420 area. Market coming down there. That's going to be good for my VXX. We'll see if we finally get some breakdown there. LAC still looking good right here. This looks pretty decent, guys. I mean, on the day trade and the swing trade, it still looks pretty good, but it could, of course, it's on the top end of that daily trend. It's not a bad one to watch, though, especially with PLL doing really well. So I'd keep an eye out on this. It's a $4 stock, so. All right, seeing some downside come into the market here. Let's see what happens. TSLL went after this earlier. Dent wasn't able to kind of cash in on it. I'm willing to get after it again on the swing. Well, not for the swing, but on the limited, and then see what happens here. All right, starter on there. Did you see the Qs break the lows? SPY broke the low. Back and forth action, guys. Back and forth action right now. Keeping it tight here, guys. Reeling the risk off to 2165s. Add at 2145. We'll see what happens. TSLL is a leverage bull. I'm trading it actually to the bearish side here. And one of the advantages that you can get on trade the pool, right? LAC looking interesting. We'll see what happens on that one. I like it for the swing too. All right, going back to the VXX here. It could start making the move back here. It's all about the VIX and the Qs. Will it break down? There, the Q's starting to look a little weaker. Can he go for it, man? I'm looking at it. The trade's there for the breakdown now. Mara. Will Mara go for the breakdown? I'm trying to get it. All right, short Mara again, guys. Now I'm getting the move. There we go. That looks better. Come on, Mara. Pay me back here. Q's coming down there. Will the Q's actually break, though? TSLL added. I know that much. There's the now 513s breaking on the Q's. SPY going another low there. So willing to take the shot here, guys. VXX willing to add here in just a second. I'm going to take a shot. All right, we'll continue to watch to see what happens, but taking some shots out here, guys. That's for sure. Q's broke down, but started to recover there. If I take a look at like a name like Tesla, which is a strong name, it bounced there. So you can still watch that. Definitely playing between that today. Just not that same bullish momentum, trying to fake the breakdown. And so you're definitely trying to fake out some of the bears. So that's one thing that I'd be watching out there. I definitely think that you're seeing that action today. Now, the only question is, will it continue? Look at the SPY. The SPY is pretty weak, guys. Everything is in the red from the open. And so what's green from in the last hour is one thing that I'd pay attention to. If I take a look at the last hour, and I'm going to do this again here just to make sure it's catching the right momentum. There's some more downside in the Qs there. So there's the downside. Everything red from right now. Everything red in the last hour. All right, taking a shot there, just added there on the VIX a little bit there. We'll see what happens with that. Now 44.97, looking for it to get back above the 45 spot. SPY down towards the low there. It's Q's trying to break down there. We'll see if it continues down towards that red level where it goes to like 512s. But Mara now into the green there, looking for Mara to really break down here. Mara is the one that I think could give me a nice little cut down here. There's Mara to the 27s here, 25s here. So really looking for it to now just give up there and go towards the 24s. There she starts to push there, and of course can recover VWAP, but at this point wouldn't like to see that. Would like to see it reject. That's the final hold, and then finally starting to break down through this trend here, and then holding the push back towards 2430s is a good look here. We'll see if it can reject that look. Back above the 9 is the danger area, but let's see if it can go back through that 24s today. If it does, I'm going to be green good here and be up big. So let's see if it can get back through that 24 here. Like always, this is what I can do. Set myself up for success. That's all I can do. Could get back there towards 2440s, so just keeping a very close eye on it. Q's in the SPY bouncing a little bit here. And just like that, the bullishness coming right back in, so just be careful out there, guys. Mara. Such a hard trader, guys. I think loves to wick, and it's wick testing me right now. Here comes more weakness trying to come back into the Qs. So trying to focus in on the VXX here to see if it starts to push there through that 44.96. All right, guys, it's 11:01. I got to wrap up here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But man, what a day, guys. I would love to see Mara make at least the starter move here so you guys can watch it. What a day, man. I've been working here. So I'm going to continue working like always, guys. Smash the like if you guys enjoy me showing you guys this every single day, showing you the insight of what's going on out there. So definitely take a look out there, guys. All right, definitely a new day tomorrow. Mitch, is that 200? Is it real money? You see it right there. So we'll see what happens, man. Got to keep battling on this main account, guys. I'm up like $30 on the account overall. There's a battle back on the Qs. It's trying to do another kind of recollect that whether it went bearish at the 513s, 40s. It could still come right back. So just be careful out there, traders. It's going to be a little bit of a back and forth battle here, I think, until the lunchtime, and then could make the real breakdown later in the day. So it doesn't mean that it's broken down already. We'll continue to battle out there, guys. It's 11:02. We'll see what happens, but keep battling like always. It's going to be back and forth market. I talked about the historical reference of 2016, that this was the day where red came in. We'll see. You can see the leak. Now it just hasn't broken down. So right there, we started to go to it. The real level I'll be watching was 512 on the Qs later in the day. That's going to be the real like kind of takedown level where you can get some further action on the downside. We'll see, guys. It's a back and forth. And if you guys don't catch me on Tuesday on Trader TV, definitely check out our segment there. That's why I'm a little later on Tuesday. So if you guys don't realize that the show starts at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays, on Tuesdays, that's just because, of course, I'm out there and kind of doing a nice interview talking about Trade the Pool, guys. And you guys out there, check out the limited accounts, guys, because, we have access for them till the end of the year, but man, that's just to the end of the year. You don't have much time, guys. So, of course, keep your eyes out for everything that we have to offer you. Right now, the limited account, I feel, is definitely the best advantage that you guys have if you want to get after Trade the Pool. And for those traders that just tune in to us and maybe don't use Trade the Pool or haven't, check out the demo. Just trade the demo and see what you like about the platform, what you don't like. Would you use this, right? And let me know the feedback, because at the end of the day, I'm always here to make improvements. And if you guys want to see something improved on the show or have any questions, we'll definitely get after it. Smash the like. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. And like always, traders, keep battling. It's not easy trading. Now, one thing's for certain. If you focus on making improvements of habits, and you guys saw me trying to improve that today, right? The getting out, break even. And it was still hard for me, right? That's one thing that I'll be working on, and you guys can check that out right here, of course. Hit that like. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. And not a bad day on the swing trade side of things, right? The good trade to begin the day. I'll keep trying to run with that money and take that money bag. We'll see you guys back tomorrow, guys. Smash it up and keep going. It's, of course, Trade the Pool.